Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, to JMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with the Japanese and CFS V2 models, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video you see was the 6 AM upload. And got 10 to 14 day with all of regular features coming up to you later on this afternoon. If that wasn't enough, we're going to be live streaming after 10:30. We'll have our Friday night live stream, and I shall see you live for that one. Please like, share, subscribe on the videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for dinner. Right, we're going to start off there with the week 1 500 millibar high tide from the Arctic and North Pole view down from the JMA. So this is the North Pole just here. Arctic Circle is around there, and mid latitudes are through there. So blue is extrapolating to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red to above average height, which is high pressure. These are broken down into weekly periods, and the first weekly period will take us from the 13th, today, Friday the 13th, well, to the 20th of January. So the coming week we'll have a trough of low pressure over into the east of the country with an area of high pressure pulled out into the Atlantic. We're sending the jet stream on a northwest-southeast alignment. And we're going to be putting some cold air into that trough of low pressure. So cold and unsettled, maybe wintry next week. Week 2 will take us from the 20th to 27th of January with an area of above average heights in the Atlantic extending into western and northern parts of Europe. It's rather anticyclonic, that, doesn't it? Maybe bringing in a little bit of an easterly feed into the south, which could be quite cold. I suggest just like frost and fog, that sort of thing, for week 2. And then weeks 3 and 4 would be the 27th of January to the 9th of February with low pressure in the Atlantic and high pressure up over Scandinavia. So the low pressure in the Atlantic will be trying to bring us westerly winds. The high pressure in Scandinavia will probably be trying to bring us easterly winds. So, you know, it could go either way. That sort of chart that could go either way. And maybe transitional. Maybe the third week is westerly, the fourth week is easterly. Something like that could be going on as it's a 2-weekly anomaly. Right, let's have a look at the tropical and mid-latitude view down. No, what am I talking about? Let's have a look at the tropical and mid-latitude view. So we can't see Greenland, Arctic, Scandinavia, all those areas off the chart up there. However, we have a look at that view down to know what's going on. UK line in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it. So a reminder of week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly with a trough of low pressure over top of the country and a ridge of high pressure pulled out into the Atlantic. The temperature anomaly for this next week, 13th to the 20th of January, going to be colder than average. Our first colder than average week since the middle of December. Will also be rather unsettled as well with above average precipitation. So the risk of not only rain but also snow there, I would have thought, in the weekend, as temperature anomalies are going to be quite cold. Then into week 2, which should be 20th, 27th of January, we find high pressure or above average height sort of building into the country. The temperature anomaly is staging a recovery there, especially so out west. So we can go a little bit milder and still... excuse me, still a little bit on the unsettled side, slightly above average precipitation, but I would have thought a dry week is more likely there. And then weeks 3 and 4 have that rather strange looking anomaly with low pressure in the Atlantic, but also some higher pressure up there. We can envisage Scandinavia will be around there. So the temperature anomaly is looking about average to a little bit above, so it's only milder into early February, and precipitation anomalies are above average once more. Let's see how the CFS V2 compares. That's the JMA done. Let's see how the CFS compares. So again, it's a 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 13th to the 19th of January. The coming week with a trough of low pressure to our east and a ridge of above average heights to the west. So we're bringing cooler or colder air into that low pressure. Looks rather cold and wintry for week 1. Week 2 is the 20th, 26th of January. High pressure then out to our west, probably bringing in a little bit more of an Atlantic influence, so a little bit more of a sort of west-northwesterly type scenario rather than northerly there. Probably quite a bit dry weather too. Week 3 will be the 27th of January to the 2nd of February, with high pressure over Spain and low pressure around Greenland. Iceland winds go back into west, so we turn milder at the end of January into the start of February. And then week 4 is the 3rd to the 9th of February, with again low pressure to the north and west, high pressure to our south, and winds coming in from a west or southwesterly direction. Looks mild and probably increasingly wet and windy there through the first full week of February. The temperature anomaly for week 1 to start us off, 13th, 19th of January, is colder than average. A cold week to come. Week 2, 20th, 26th of January, is near normal to a little bit above, a recovery in the temperature taking place there. And then week 3 goes milder. It's the 27th of January to 12th of February, back into very mild weather. And that carries on into week 4 as well, 3rd to the 9th of January, also looking very mild. Precipitation anomalies for week 1, about average, maybe a little bit above. Week 2, which is the 20th, 26th of January, is a bit drier than average to our south and a bit wetter than average to our north. Week 3 looks generally quite wet, 27th of January to 2nd of February, above average rainfall there. And another wet week for week 4, which is the 3rd to the 9th of February. That one also going wetter than average. So quite a mild and wet start to February there. Right, okay, so that's it for JMA Friday for this week. Starting off cold, getting milder by the end of January, and then milder and wetter into early February. That's how the 2 miles looking today. Pretty good agreement actually between both of them. Just a snapshot of what was the show. It could look a bit different when we look at them again next week, which is when we do JMA Friday next week. That's how we're looking today. We're going to be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 day, so come back for that then. But for this week's JMA Friday, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.